Good evening. Welcome to Wednesday guided meditation session at Vajrayana Institute. I'm Wai Cheong. So we'll be doing two meditations as usual. The first one will be on calm abiding. Previously, I touched on calm abiding meditation where we try to calm or settle different disturbances, agitations of body and mind. In order for both the body and mind to be able to abide here and now in meditation, peacefully and blissfully, engaging with whatever it is we are meditating on. And we will encounter two kind of main categories of obstacles or hindrances. One of them, of course, is when the mind is very dull, very drowsy, very sleepy, or the mind feels very dark and heavy. There is a loss of alertness of the mind. The attention is no longer vivid. Instead, we are drifting on this, what I call the long road to sleep, which of course some of us can traverse it in an instant. One moment you are awake, the next moment you are asleep. So that is one type of, one category of hindrances, and is usually related to the mind, the consciousness not having enough energy. There's in Tibetan, this is, you can translate this obstacle as sinking. It's almost like the mind and the system is sinking down. It doesn't have enough energy to keep it buoyant and alert and awake. And traditionally, that one remedy, of course, is called perception of light. You can actually meditate in a brighter place, which is why quite often these days in our modern world, people meditate in a very dark or dim room, just lit one candle, and may not be the best option because that dimness of the room may have a tendency to promote downness of mind, which may come across as very relaxing, but in the long run, it's not helpful because you are making your mind in a way slower, more dull, not really harnessing the power of the mind, not really enhancing the wakefulness or alertness of the mind. Yeah. So for that, the remedy is either the perception of light, actually letting more light in, or the visualization of light. You can mentally bring forth a visual image of something that's bright and radiant. And that may help or may not. It depends on the causes and conditions of our drowsiness or downness. The other main category of hindrance or obstacles will be the agitation of the mind. Here is the mind having too much energy, which manifests as quite often lots and lots of thoughts. We become very preoccupied thinking about something. Even if we don't want to, they seem thoughts just arise and tend to capture our attention, or drag our attention, pull our attention away from the meditation towards other, whatever it is, certain events in the past or certain situation in the future. Could be ruminating about a certain person, and so on and so forth. But overall, the system feels like there's a lot of this very unsettled, disturbed energy, and quite often preoccupied with thinking. Yeah, so thoughts are very ruminating thoughts is what sometimes people describe it, because the thoughts seem to go over and over again, round and round and round, over regarding a particular topic or situation or whatever. Yeah. So the remedy for this that might be helpful, and what we're going to explore today in the meditation is, since so much of the energy, the excess energy manifests in the form of thinking, in the form of preoccupation with thoughts, whereby our attention unwillingly, unconsciously are sucked into and drawn into and kept within this vortex of changing thoughts and ideas and images and so on and so forth. What would be a good remedy is to invite the attention, to very gently invite the attention, take it and place the attention on something else. And here I'm suggesting inviting your attention to come back to here and now and place it on what is happening in this present moment. Primarily to what is happening, what can we be aware of through our physical senses, as opposed to our mental sense. Our mental sense in Buddhist jargon is where thinking is grouped as the activity of the mental sense. So you take the attention away from thinking and place the attention on whatever kind of experiences or objects coming through our physical senses, such as becoming aware of the sound in the surrounding, the sound made by our own body within sound. Place our attention on bodily sensations that we can feel and we can sense coming through the various bodily receptors. Yeah. I mean, you have your eyes open, you take your attention away from the thoughts and place it on the actual visual objects appearing to our eyes. Or if there's some sense and smell, then of course we can notice that. Or we can return attention to taste. You have something in your mouth. One of my therapist friend, she advised her clients who are going through a really tough time, very stressful, very pressurized situation, that maybe it's good to give themselves a break in the day. Take 15 minutes, put aside everything else or the other business, and just use that 15 minutes to make a cup of tea. Well, clearly we're talking about Australia or somewhere in the UK. Yeah. Make yourself a cup of tea, sit down, and enjoy the cup of tea for that short duration. And during that duration, come back and focus on just the experience of enjoying and drinking that cup of tea, a very sensory experience. And it's like taking a break from all the worries and the agitations and the concerns. So we'll do something similar here in this first meditation. I will invite you to channel your energy, invite the energy or attention to come back and place it on sensing. And usually I focus on listening to sound, and by analogy to listen as a listening space, welcoming the sound, and also be attentive to the body, the bodily sensations. And so using that as a way of helping to see if we can facilitate the calming down of all these different mental processes, mental reactivities, or these thoughts. So that's what we're going to try out, see whether this such a remedy make any difference or not. Okay, so I invite you to settle back and find a suitable, comfortable meditation posture for your body. Take a few moments and just adjust and allow the body to settle into the meditation posture. So while we do that, I'm going to ring this bell to signal the start of the meditation. Take care that you allow your back or spine to be comfortable in your meditation posture, and that the posture does not introduce unnecessary pain or discomfort, especially into any part of your spine. Feel free to sit on the chair, sit on the floor, with the back upright in a natural way. We do not have to deliberately tense up the back muscles in order to somehow straighten the back. That is not necessary. Just assume a very natural, comfortable, upright position. You can also, of course, lie down your back in a supine position to meditate. In that case, just try to make sure that you allow the spine to be straight and not crooked. Rest your hands and arms on some kind of physical support so that you can transfer the weight of the arms onto the support You can allow the shoulder muscles and arm muscles to be relaxed. Feel free to close your eyes completely or leave them open, whichever suits you. So take a few moments, allow the body to get used to the posture, to get settled into the posture. Become aware of how the body in this posture is resting on the surface that feels very solid, firm, and stable. We want to reassure the body that in this posture it is well supported, well balanced, and safe. And this will facilitate a process of loosening up. The body realizes it does not need to be so tight and tense, and you can start to unwind a bit. You can let go of some of those unnecessary contractions and tightenings. And given time, the body can become more and more comfortable in this meditation posture. So we're going to take some time to invite our attention to come back here and now, starting with coming back to the sounds in your surrounding. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play 2 sets of bells from my app. And I invite you to listen to it. Just be a listening space to welcome the sound, about 5 bells each, with a pause of 1 minute in between. And just allow the sounds to come to you, to come to your listening space. And during this pause in between, see if you can be aware of other sounds, the sound of my voice coming through, the sound in your surrounding, the sound within your own body, and the silence in between. So invite our attention to come back here and now to this present moment. See if you can be that listening space, open, receptive, receiving whatever that may be coming through your physical senses, such as the sounds. And maybe by now you also become aware of bodily sensations, tension, tightness at certain parts of your body, a feeling of ease and relaxation at other parts of your body. See if you can welcome the sounds, different bodily sensations to come into your listening aware space so that you are in touch with what is happening here and now. We may notice that our attention doesn't stay here or stay in the present moment. It's easily drawn into thinking. We could be thinking about the past or the future. We could be sustaining an ongoing inner dialogue, inner conversations, judging, planning, remembering. All of these are totally normal activities of the mind. And what we are doing here is to see if we can, by rechanneling our attention, channel the energy of our attention onto sensing through the physical senses. Does that have any impact on the functioning of our own mind as well as the body? Are we able to help to calm the body and mind of the different agitations, disturbances? So again and again, in a very gentle way, invite attention to come back here and now, to rest in this moment as a listening space, and welcome into your awareness the sounds, the bodily sensations, whatever is coming through your physical senses. Instead of trying to hold on to any particular object, here we rest our attention in the moment as an open, receptive, listening space, welcoming different experiences to come forth. Coming back to this moment, we allow the sounds, bodily sensations, pleasant or unpleasant, to help us to invite our attention again and again to come back and rest in this moment. And to facilitate us to go deeper into the meditation, to see if we can really help to further calm the different activities of our own mind. I'm going to invite you to let into your listening aware space bodily sensations from the different parts of your own body. So that alongside the sounds, anything else that's happening in your surrounding, we are also in touch with the different sensations coming through the different parts of our own body. Starting at the crown, see if you can let into your listening aware space the subtle sensations happening at the crown of the head, the topmost part of our body. Maybe a little bit of tingling, a slight itching, or pressure, or warmth, or coolness, or maybe nothing at all. Coming back here now, how about sensations at the face? What sort of sensations may appear in your listening aware space from your own face? Are you tensing up any of the facial muscles? Is it possible to gently and consciously relax those muscles of the face and to welcome in a different kind of feeling of ease, of relaxation, of softness into your own face? How about sensations coming through from your throat and neck and shoulders? Neck and shoulders are common areas for us to store quite a bit of tension and tightness. So if you do notice unpleasant sensations here, see if you can just acknowledge them and let them be for the moment. These are not tensions that we can easily relax or release consciously. How about sensations coming through from both arms? Are we aware of, or can we let into this listening aware space of ours, sensations from the upper arms, very subtle sensations? Maybe sensations from both elbows, forearms, and from both hands, from the palm of the hands, the back of the hands, and sensations in the fingers all the way to the fingertips. And now that we have somehow awakened the sensations in both arms, see if we can give permission and rest the weight of both arms comfortably on their physical support. Surrender the weight to gravity. Coming back here and now, coming back to be this open, receptive, listening space alongside any sounds in our surrounding, the sound of my voice. What sort of sensations come forth from the torso of our body, from the chest, from the abdomen, and from the back? We may notice sensations from the upper back, the middle back, or the lower back. We may notice sensations associated with the breath, with breathing, the expansion and contraction of the chest, the rising and falling movements of the abdomen. And we may notice many other very subtle sensations coming through. So without struggle, without straining, tensing up, we simply invite our attention to shift back to this moment, here and now, to open up and to welcome in and be receptive, to be this listening, aware space. Maybe we can notice sensations coming through the pelvis, the pelvic region. We may sense or notice the weight of the pelvis resting on our seat. And see if we can consciously give permission, allow the weight to rest and settle down and be comfortable here and now in the seat. Coming back to sensing, continue with sensing. See if we can notice sensations coming from both legs, starting from the hips. Could be very faint, subtle sensations, which are perfectly fine. Sensations from the upper legs down to the knees. Sensations from the lower legs down to the ankles. Sensations in both feet. Sensations coming through the soles of the feet, the top of the feet, and the sensations in the toes. Rest our body in this posture. Rest our mind, our attention here and now with sensing. Sensing through our physical senses. Come back to it if we do get distracted by thoughts. And let's meditate in silence for the next few minutes. So there is a meditation on sensing, inviting our attention to come back and rest in the present moment and function mainly through physical senses. In contrast to channeling the energy of attention into thoughts, thoughts of the past or future, thoughts of kind of inner speech or inner conversation that we may have thinking. Maybe in this meditation it's not so significant, but sometimes I find when I go very caught up, I'm reacting emotionally, getting very upset about certain things, and my mind just keeps spinning in thoughts, and getting more and more upset, agitated. It's very helpful to see if I can intervene in those occasions and just inviting my attention to step out of those thoughts, step out of the stories I'm telling myself, and just come back to this moment. Just come back and touch base and say, "Hey, what is happening here?" Maybe I was thinking about what is happening at the workplace, whereas when I come back in this moment, I'm right here at home. So, or maybe I'm caught up in something happening in the past, and I come back and realize that, hey, this is what's happening here and now. Or otherwise, I might be preoccupied with something, worry about something in the future, and then I come back, and in this moment, that has not yet happened. This is what's real in this moment. Yeah. Okay, the next meditation, I thought we can do a simple one on appreciative joy. So I've been going through the four immeasurable qualities of the heart: loving kindness, compassion, and the third one will be on appreciative joy, sympathetic joy, which is a kind of a sense of rejoicing, feeling happy, allowing in a feeling of joy, feeling delight in the positive things in our life. Also could be the positive things in others' life. Today I think we can try appreciative joy on behalf of others. There are other people we know, and quite often, especially when we become familiar with them, we may find that we spend more time picking on their faults or picking on what they've done wrong or what's not right, and we may have not spent much energy or attention. We are not given much attention to thinking about their share of happiness, their share of good fortune, and to rejoice in that, to feel happy for them that they are they have all this wonderful good fortune and happiness, and to share in their joy and good fortune, which is a very different orientation of the mind, from one where we are more fault-finding or more picking on gossip material, so to speak, scandals and whatever not. Yeah. So maybe a good time to, in this occasion, this meditation, to turn our attention to the people closest to us and look at each one of them, and to see if we can draw back from our memories what we know about them, and highlight to ourselves the good fortune in this person's life, the happiness this person has experienced or is experiencing, and to feel happy for them, to sort of embrace them mentally and emotionally and say, "Oh, how wonderful it is that this is happening in your life. I feel so happy for you. I feel so kind of the sense of happy that you have, you are so lucky, so to speak," which is an interesting state of mind, appreciative joy. Very difficult for me to do, because in fact, there's a lot of obstacles for us to rejoice. We are more used to belittling or demeaning others' accomplishment. We say, "Oh, it's nothing. You're just getting a big hate. Keep talking about all these good things in your life." We get bored. "Oh, I'm so bored with you. I'd rather think about something else." We get jealous and envious, which we may not want to acknowledge. Yeah. And sometimes we just plainly not in a good space, that we can't even notice. We can't notice what is the other's share of happiness, and good fortune. And likewise, we also don't have the mental space or the heart space to let in and appreciate our own happiness and good fortune. So I'm going to invite you to bring to mind one at a time. Spend as much or as little time you have with each one of them, and to recollect, what the happiness and good fortune of each one of them. And I usually do this with a few simple phrases, since I cannot feel on demand. I will say, "Oh, may your happiness continue. May your good fortune not diminish." Or you can just say, "Oh, how wonderful that is." Yeah, if you are sincere about it. Okay, so let's give it a try and see whether we can touch that quality of joy within ourselves. So I invite you to settle back into your meditation posture. Take a few moments, adjust your body, allow the body to find its way into the meditation posture, which hopefully come across as something supportive, comfortable, balanced, and safe. So I'm just going to ring the bell to signal the start of this meditation. Let's take a few minutes at the beginning of the meditation just to help our body and mind to shift gears, to transition back into a meditative state. We can make use of the breath as a way to help us to do so. To see if you can rest your attention on the sensations of the breath. Allow yourself to fully experience your in-breath and your out-breath. As you become aware of the breath sensations at the different parts of your body, as you follow, as you breathe in and out with your attention, see if you can give a special notice or emphasis to your natural out-breath. Breathing out, tune into that very subtle sense of release or relaxation that comes along with it. Breathing out is a process and opportunity to release. As the body relaxes the muscles of the diaphragm and muscles of the chest, allowing the air to flow out. So each time we breathe out, we can actually say in our own mind the simple magical word release, reminding our own body and our own mind that they can release. Release anything unhelpful, unnecessary, painful, unpleasant. We can allow this to flow away with the breath. Inviting our attention to come back here and now to reconnect with the breath sensations. On the out breath, gently in your own mind, say the word release. We can facilitate a process of release. For example, we can start with the face. So often we unconsciously tense up some of the muscles in the face. And now, as we breathe out and release, this is the wonderful opportunity to see if we can relax those facial muscles and welcome a feeling of softness, a feeling of ease and comfort into our own face. Coming back to the breath, each time we notice the out breath, we gently remind ourselves, our own system, to deepen that sense of release. And now putting aside the breath for the time being, the breath will always be here. And feel free to reconnect with it at any point during the meditation if you find your mind's getting very distracted or confused. Let's shift our attention to the cultivation of appreciative joy by bringing to mind someone you know, hopefully someone you know quite well, someone close to you. Maybe allow a visual image of the person to come to mind. And take some time to see if you can let into your awareness what you know about the happiness and the good fortune of this person. See if we can genuinely and sincerely rejoice in his or her share of happiness, of joy, of fun, and good fortune. We can express that appreciative joy in words and phrases such as, "May your happiness continue, may your good fortune not diminish." So feel free to change the wordings, add or subtract, but slowly, mindfully, just repeat the phrases at your own pace. Direct them towards this person, this loved one, this someone close to you, and see if you can rejoice in their happiness, in their good fortune, in their good luck, in all the wonderful things in their life. May your happiness continue. May your good fortune not diminish. Coming back to the person, refocus your attention on them if you do get distracted. We acknowledge that they are suffering, their misfortune, their unhappy aspects of one's life. But in this meditation, we want to highlight to ourselves the opposite, the happiness, the good fortune, the wonderful aspect of this person's life, which are also true and real and present. So highlight that to yourself and see if you can rejoice. May your happiness continue. May your good fortune not diminish. Coming back to the phrases of appreciative joy, as you say them with some sincerity, just try, not necessarily that you will immediately feel the feelings of joy, which is perfectly fine. Just stick to the phrases, the intention behind them, and offer the sense of appreciation, appreciative joy to this person. May your happiness continue. May your good fortune not diminish. Coming back to the meditation, feel free to linger longer with one person, or when you feel ready, say goodbye to this person and shift your attention to another, and repeat the whole process. And on your occasion, maybe you can make the focus of your meditation someone who might be going through a hard time or has suffered different misfortunes. And it's particularly important and poignant in this case, reflecting on this person's experiences to highlight the moments of joy and happiness, the good fortune, the auspicious features of this person's life, and rejoice in them, especially rejoice in them on their behalf when maybe they are at the moment caught up in pain, in despair, in depression, and they are unable to see for themselves, see things in a positive light. See if we can do it on their behalf. May your happiness continue. May your good fortune not diminish. Coming back to the meditation on appreciative joy, by rejoicing in someone's happiness and good fortune or good luck, if you like, we are not dismissing nor are we denying the challenges of our lives, of their lives, the hardship, the difficulties, the pain. But nonetheless, in each of our life, there will be moments, lighter moments, moments of simple happiness and joy. There will be something auspicious, something worthy of rejoicing. To see if we can capture and highlight those moments and rejoice in them on their behalf. May your happiness continue. May your good fortune not diminish. And then on occasion where we run out of ideas, we run out of images, we can't quite find anything worthy of rejoicing in someone's life, or we don't really know what to think about it, then it is also perfectly fine to just repeat the phrases as a wish, as a prayer, that may they not be separated from their happiness, that may they find their good fortune, may they find their happiness. May your happiness continue. May your good fortune not diminish. Okay, I hope you have a joyful meditation. At least we try. Thank you very much for joining in, and hope you have a good week, and hope to see you next week. So take care.